All right, what is up, everybody? Welcome back to a quick update episode of Burn Down. So as you can see, we've gotten a little crazy with the cheese whiz over here on the Maliboom, and I thought that we could just do a scuff and shoot. I was more than prepared to leave some of the bodywork on here and the chunks and all the stuff that was kind of going on with this guy and just put a fresh coat of dark blue paint. You want to say hi?
Hi.
Oh geez, we got everybody out here. What's up, girl? What's up, girl? So yeah, I was more than prepared to just kind of leave well enough alone, kind of scuff it and shoot it. And as I started to roll, this is typical. I mean, I do this stuff all the time. I know better, and I was trying to just turn a blind eye and get the thing done, and all hell broke loose. I mean, I'll be honest with you. We just started trying to make it somewhat okay, and then it wasn't playing nice. So I got a few pictures I can put up of what was going on, but initially it started with the roof, because the roof had the 3D flakes and the chips and stuff on it. I'm like, well, we'll just knock that off. I knew I had to strip the roof. I knew I had to kind of strip this area, and then I had some cracks and things. I had a major piece that was flaking off right here, like a big old piece that looked like it was going to come off, but I figured maybe I could just dig those areas out a little bit. No harm, no foul. Put some more filler back, and we call it a day and kind of just keep rolling. Well, I started trying to strip the roof, and it was just not happy. Like, I figured in a good solid afternoon of hustling, I should be able to get at least like half this thing stripped, right? At least, you know, like one half standing here if you're working. Well, I was trying and nothing was working. It wasn't taking the paint off, and then there was a bunch of filler. And I ended up doing just like a corner in like an afternoon, and I was hustling on it, and I was like, man, so I got like crazy wire wheels. I'll show you guys. I got this crazy wire wheel here, trying to take off some of the filler. I got some aircraft stripper. We went through a gallon of that. Not necessarily on the roof. I put some on there, but ultimately what ended up, happening with the roof and the fiasco, majority of this car, is somebody skim coated pretty much the whole car with filler. Lots of poor body work. It was the cheaper pink stuff. This is like an older school version of filler. You can still get this, but this is like the non-good filler. And then you can just see all the different layers, like so many different colors. And what happens is when you put the aircraft stripper on, I think it gets to the fill work and it just stops. So if it's paint, it'll pull it. If it's filler, it doesn't. And I think they went filler over paint jobs. So there's like multiple paint jobs below the filler. So it's just one of those deals. So I ended up getting clean strip wheels from Harbor Freight. I think I've gone through like 10 of them so far. My buddy Derek came out unannounced yesterday, and he knocked all this down. It still needs to be kind of cleaned up, but he basically, this whole panel was filler. And this whole edge right here, it stuck out like another ½ inch. It's crazy, and they did a great job shaping it. I never really noticed that this was a lot more proud than what this was. And when I cut into it, I found this spot, and then I panicked thinking it was all gonna go away and I wasn't gonna have any metal there. And then I saw that little rust hole, and I was like, I'll just paint over it. Like, I'm literally just gonna leave that little hole in the fender because I don't care all that much. Then I got to the passenger side, and that's when things went poorly, because it was filler, and when I took the filler off, the filler was actually the shape of the panel. It looked like monster teeth. It was like these jagged edges. So I stopped right there yesterday and decided that I would go to OPGI. I'm in SoCal, so everything's local to me. Luckily, they were open on a Saturday, so I went down there and I got both patch panels. So they're 40 bucks a piece on the wheel well opening. So I wasn't really gonna buy this one, but I figured by the time I fix that one, then this would look terrible. So then you're screwed, right? So what we did is I went and bought the fill panel piece, and I installed it yesterday. So that's what this is. You can see the square. And essentially I just did that thing as fast as I could because we went down to buy it. I wasted a bunch of time, and that's pretty much what I had to show for an afternoon, which sucks because I really thought I could strip a bunch of stuff and do more work. But I've been working on this car afternoons pretty much all last week. Friday, I went gangbusters on it all day. And then yesterday, I started in the morning. Things didn't go as planned. I spent a good part of the day going down to Seal Beach, coming home, and then basically installed the patch panel, and it got dark by the time I finished doing that. And then my buddy Derek went gangbusters on everything you see pretty much on that side. So I still got some rot back here, so I didn't connect it because this is terrible. It looks like they put a piece in and then filled it with more Bondo. And then this is like, that's my thumb. So that's a good solid like 1/2 inch, maybe 3/4. But I'm hoping, I don't know, it looks terrible there too. If it thins out enough for me to make a piece of steel where I can just weld it on here and then shape it to this, I'm cool making that patch. And then I'll have to see on the other side what we can do. And I don't care if it's 100% perfect. I just need it to be something structural so it doesn't fall off. And we're going down the 1/8 mile or 1/4 mile. Well, so at this point, we're kind of into this thing. I jumped in with both feet. Like I said, I thought, like on this, see how it's all cracked? It's probably hard to see because this was all paint stripper, by the way. That's all it did. It just basically ate the clear coat. So that's how terrible this has been. But you can see how thick and 3D this is. And that's all fill work. And then that's where I got in trouble doing this, because I was just trying to smooth it out and then throw some paint on it. But now that we're in this deep, you're probably wondering, well, what are you gonna do, Dane? Well, I really don't want a showstopper. I do paint work, I do custom paint, I build classic cars. And it's funny because a lot of people that know me from Instagram and from other things following along know that I can do higher end nice work. This is kind of my reprieve from doing that. And I just like to slap together and have fun. Sometimes things don't work out, and it's kind of fun to not do it right because I spend all day sweating details and making sure stuff lines up and that panels are flat. As for this, I don't really care because I just want to have fun with it. And I thought I could just do a scuff and shoot. It didn't work. So what we're gonna do now is, I'm already locked into doing a little bit of body work because of the hood, right? So we're gonna have the fill work out because I got to reshape that. Well, now that I got to put these patch panels on, we're gonna have to blend those in a bit. This needs some body work back here. So I'm gonna do a little body work, which I really didn't want to do, but I think if I can just do a couple quick rounds, even if it wiggles, I'm okay with it. Like if it's kind of one of those deals, like I'm not gonna try to get it super flat or anything like that. But if we can get it somewhat decent, then this thing is really gonna look like $1 million going down the track, because even with a decent crap paint job on it, that's leaps and bounds beyond what I was actually gonna put on the car. So that slows me down a bunch. And then I think what I've decided to do, now that we're this far in, and I got to put stupid fill work on it, and we're kind of going this far, and I'm putting patch panels, which I really didn't want to do, we might as well just go even further with it. And I think I'm gonna flame the car. So you may or may not like flames. I'm a flame guy. Let me show you what my boy's car looks like. This is a test piece a while ago when I was just screwing around. I made this for my son. So if you have or have not seen this little dude, so yeah, so that's like a kind of like an old school seaweed, and then they kind of go down the side on both sides. So I think we're gonna go something that route. And initially I was gonna do just the side of the car, but we'll kind of see how things go. That adds a bunch more time to the clock because it's not like you just do that overnight. So we'll get the car into color. We'll see what that takes, because that's gonna take time now that I have to do body work. And then once we get into color, we'll decide if and how crazy we're gonna go putting some graphics on here. And then the cool part is I don't have any space in there. I'm not gonna hit my buddies up for booth time or nothing like that. I'm just gonna do it all right here. So even if it turns out like hell, I'm okay with that. And if it turns out decent, you guys can watch me do it in the driveway. That way, if it was something you decided you're like, hey, I wanna try that, you don't need any special things. You don't need a booth. You don't have to have some garage that's kind of set up to do stuff. You just need to driveway in some decent weather. And I'm lucky because we're in SoCal, so if I get up early enough, like right now in the morning, it's not terribly windy. It's not real bad, so I'm hoping that the weather plays nice when we get to try to kind of paint this thing. But it is what it is. I want to be at the mercy of Mother Nature, and things might not go as planned, and we'll see how it goes. I'm really not even that worried about it, to tell you the truth, how nice it turns out or doesn't. But if we get to the part where we do graphics, that'll be fun, because once we lay the color on, after that the graphic stuff's kind of fun and simple. And then I talked to my buddy Tommy. He used to work at Coast Airbrush. He does pinstriping, custom paint stuff. I do not do pinstriping. He is the man. So if I end up putting some sort of flame on the car, we'll have him out. We could pick his brain and watch him do his thing, because he's badass. So we will see. I got 2 hands on the shovel and we're digging the hole now, so at least I guess 2. It'll be somewhat decent, something we can take places. I really would like to just kind of stand out with the car, considering that's what we're kind of trying to do and have some fun. Show you guys a couple things. Unfortunately, I'm not going to get into all the rust repair and stuff. Maybe on this side when we patch it up, I could jump into like some of the little repairs, but I don't know. I have the full patch panel, so I may even do this whole wheel well opening. Maybe I could show you guys that real quick, or some tips on how to do it. But ultimately, I don't want to watch videos of myself doing that, and I don't want to do how-tos on how to do that kind of stuff. It's really not my jam. So that is it. That is the update on the car. It looks terrible. It will look better at some point. But yeah, we are in slow gear. I'm gonna be lucky if I make the event next month, I'll be honest. I don't know at this point, and I'm so deep into it, I'm not coming back. So if we're gonna do it, we'll just do it now, and then we're done. Then we can get onto the motor. We'll stretch a little bit of time out, but at least we'll have kind of a ridiculous looking car. Then we'll put a ridiculous motor in it. We'll have some fun. So that is it. Hope you guys enjoyed the update. We'll bring you some more content as we go. Let me know what you guys want to see on here as far as bodywork stuff goes too. If you want me to explain how to like mix fillers and do all that stuff, or if you just want me to do one of these, and we can go from this to done and move back on to some fun smoky burnouts and hopefully some racing. You guys know what to do. Like, subscribe, share. I'm out.